So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, kicks to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a hard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption!
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, people? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. I am back, guys. I am sorry. I see all the no sound. My bad, guys. My bad. But listen, man, I'm back. I'm here. I can't wait to break this thing down, guys. What we were going to do was preview the Rams, and I might get into that a little bit. If you guys have some questions, I'll answer those questions for you. But what I want to focus on tonight are just some of the things that are coming out of 49ers camp, right? There's a little bit of a change in demeanor, some things that I've noticed, some things that have been written about that I want to kind of dispute, debunk, some notions, some ideas that the faithful have been having concerning this team, just things like that that we have seen from this week. But before I do, I have to go through some formalities, guys. So bear with me here, okay? First and foremost, if this is your first time here on the YouTube page, please do us a favor, hit that like button. All right? You're also going to want to subscribe, become a member of the Nothing But Niners family on YouTube, okay? And turn on your notifications because we do bring you guys impromptu videos. This video was not planned. We normally do not go live this late on a Friday night. So if you don't have those notifications set, you would have missed the live show, okay? Give us a follow on some of our social media platforms. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are Nothing But 9 ERS. Again, that is nothing but the number 9 ERS. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, and that is Nothing But Niners. Okay, so make sure you find us on all three of those platforms. We even have an email address if you guys want to send us some comments, questions, concerns, just some general reviews, even suggestions. All right, NB9 ERS at nothingbutniners.com. Again, I am 49ers Mike _NFL. All right, and you guys can give me a follow wherever. That's the Twitter handle. Okay, but what I want to talk about are a couple of things that I saw just very, very recently concerning the 49ers, okay? Let me grab my little drink over here. All right. So first, again, I want to say shout out to everybody in this chat. You guys are incredible, man. You guys are incredible. You know, I'm having a lot of fun. Again, thank you guys. Sorry. All right. I did not mean to come in here without the audio. I mute so that way when we start the videos and all that stuff, all the background noise doesn't get picked up. So my apologies, okay? I see everybody in the chat. You guys are great. I'm Trigger. Where's your manager? I don't have a manager, man. Where's the crew? I don't know where the crew is, bro. I don't know where the crew is. They're out there somewhere. I need Nick to balance this out. What's there to balance? I haven't even said anything yet. This is a black and white thing? What the heck is happening? The champ is here. What's up, Mike? I love your solo shows. Thank you very much. Ronald, I appreciate you, man. All right. I know you were joking. All right. But listen, guys, seriously. So I'm going through the timelines and I'm seeing, you know, off with Kyle's head. Time to get him to quit, step down. I've been talking the last couple of shows here where I think that Niner fans owe it to themselves to be a little bit more responsible for the expectation that they set. And they set those expectations by ignoring a lot of the signs. So I'm not going to get into that tonight. I've done that enough. If you guys are on the Patreon, you'll see some of the backgrounds of that over there. You guys will hear it on even the last couple of shows that I've done here on the YouTube channel. Okay, so you guys will see it. But make sure you guys go check that out. Okay, but tonight I want to talk about some of the new stuff that I've been seeing online. And sorry about the rocking camera and all that stuff. I'm literally holding my phone in my hand to do this show. All right, so all balanced. All right, hopefully I'm going to try to get it steady so you guys can deal with me. All right. Miss Debbie asked a very good question. Mike, what's happening with our 49ers? I think this team is exactly where they thought they would be. Now, I heard John Lynch on KMBR say that they didn't think that the record would be the way it is. But, there's two ways to spin this record. There's two ways to spin the record, right? On one hand, if you want to be a pessimistic person, you can say this. And I've said this. I'm guilty of this. We're in week 10 of the NFL season in 2021. The 49ers have 3 wins. That sounds terrible, right? That sounds terrible. The flip side is, had we won last week, we'd be 500. Right? It depends on how you say something. It depends on, the mood and the message that you want to send. Now, right now, there's not many people out there that want to send something positive out there. There's not a lot of people out there that have something positive to say, that want to send a positive message. Everybody out there right now, the negativity is what's thriving. The negativity is what's driving people to come back to the show. And so much so that the negativity from Twitter is spilling over to the beat writers asking questions. And I'm going to get to some of that tonight. All right. I'm going to tell you guys some of the things that I've noticed. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm going to try to make this show half hour, 45 minutes tops, but it might go longer because I do have a lot to say. So I go on KMBR and listen to the podcast, and I hear John Lynch saying that he expected the team to be a little bit better. They even asked him about, who are the leaders in your locker room? Who's the guys that are holding the players accountable and pulling the players to the side and saying, hey, we have to do better. And, John Lynch said, I don't think that's happening this season. It was interesting that he admitted that, not because he shouldn't have admitted it, but normally GMs don't have that kind of insight on a team. He said it and didn't hesitate. He said straight up, he said straight up, like, I don't think that's happening this year. Players aren't holding each other accountable. And that was a big point of contention here on the show between a couple of us. And it's just hard to do that right now with the way the Niners have put things together. The Niners have made this bed. They have to sleep in it, right? But the bed was going to be made this way, and we should have known that for a while. But that's neither here nor there. I saw some things about how to motivate this team, okay? And, we got a big game coming up. It's prime time. It's Monday Night Football. 49ers taking on the Rams. The Rams just lost a game. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to be coming to our house. Sean McVay doesn't like the fact that he got swept by the Niners last year. I think we beat him with Nick Mullins or C.J. Beathard. It was one of those guys, maybe both of those guys. I don't know, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And so, John Lynch was out there and he was saying what he had to say. And you guys should go back, and if you can, listen to it. Listen to the podcast. It was on KMBR's podcast feed. It was a pretty good episode, okay? And then we got a chance to hear from Kyle Shanahan at a presser right after that. And that was a good one. I'm going to break some things down from that. And then today we got to hear from D'Amico Ryans and Mike McDaniel and a couple of players. And I got even a clip here that I want to share with you guys from George Kittle. All right, I'm going to go through all that. But 49ers Twitter in particular, I'm not much of a Facebook person, so I know Facebook is a thriving community, and actually our Facebook community is way bigger than our Twitter community. But Twitter is where I keep my what I keep my eye on. All right, when I'm working, and I noticed that today's theme, maybe the last 48 hours, no, maybe a total of 24 hours, is yesterday and today. I noticed that the theme of Twitter recently was that the 49ers aren't getting anything from their rookies. That the whole draft class is trash. None of the rookies are contributing. This is on the Twitter Spaces. This is on the timeline. People were saying get rid of John Lynch because the rookies and the drafts are just terrible. And I just don't know what people are looking at, are expecting. When I step back and I look at the draft, you look at the first round pick, it's Trey Lance. Well, they said that they were going to draft a quarterback and they weren't going to rush him, and he wasn't. And whoever it was that they drafted didn't have to play this year, right? And you look at the second round pick, and that's Aaron Banks. Okay, wasn't a scheme fit. We kind of knew that, right? And I'm not going to go round by round, but we have to. What I'm trying to say is, guys, this team, you guys out there, myself included, thought that we had postseason aspirations with Jimmy Garoppolo. And if that's the case, that means you think we have a postseason worthy roster. So why on earth should 6 or 7 rookies be contributors on this team? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You can't have both things working. If all of those guys that we drafted were major contributors, then that means that the roster wasn't what you thought it was, that you were trying to convince yourself it was, right? So that's one thing. But the thing that was really bothering me was just people just flat out saying that the rookie class isn't contributing. But that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Elijah Mitchell is our starting running back, albeit from injuries, but he earned that spot. You got Jeff Wilson Jr. back in the mix. You got JaMychal Hasty back in the mix, and he's holding them all off. Even the guy that was drafted ahead of him, he's holding off. So that's not true. And we saw guys like Diamador Lenore out there at the beginning of the year, and he was doing his thing, right? I don't understand why all of a sudden we feel the need that we have to hate on what the team has done. Talanoa Hufanga, these guys are coming in here and they are contributing. They're playing their parts. All right. We've even seen the swing tackle that they drafted come in and play well, by the way, in place of the best left tackle in the league in Trent Williams. You can't tell me that we haven't gotten anything from these rookies. So like the outrage is just all over the place. People are just, they hear one person say something and then the people just run with it. Thank you, Callie. I did see that you signed up for the Patreon. Thank you, bro. Hopefully you get to catch up on some of the shows that I've been doing over there. Hope you enjoy it. Got some more stuff coming that way too, real soon. All right. So make sure you check it out, man. Thank you guys for that. The Patreon. I forgot. I always forget to plug the Patreon. You know what, Callie, now that you said that, let me plug the Patreon real quick. I always forget to do it. Guys, if you're not a member of the Patreon, head on over patreon.com/NB9ERS. It's NB9ers. I hope you guys join. Listen, the $5 tier is there because that's where we do, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on here, but that's where we do the game watches. So anytime that there's a game on for the Niners, and let's say you are out of the area, okay, guy like me, I'm from Jersey. I'm out here in Pennsylvania right now. I'm an East Coast guy. I don't always get to see the games live, but you can go there for $5 tier and watch all the games with us live. All right. Even though it's Monday Night Football, we'll still do the same thing. It's going to be on TVs everywhere. Primetime games, it don't matter. We do it live. We watch them together. And it's the actual stream. It's not like a picture of somebody else's picture. It's not a phone showing the screen. We did that for the very first one, but I figured something else out. So it's good. You guys come over there, check it out with us. Okay. The $10 tier is supposed to be for the shows with guys like with all of us, just talking some 49er stuff, and the $20 tiers where you get some solo thoughts, some solo videos over there, some behind the scenes stuff from sources and things like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Some of the stuff that we can't discuss on here. Okay, so hopefully you guys check that out. Go over to patreon.com/NB Niners. All right. But it's just nonsense that people are all of a sudden busting on this draft class. It's not right. We're halfway through the season, and the Niners are getting production from their rookies. They are. It is what it is. People who think that the 49ers are supposed to just draft everybody and everybody be an all-pro, that's not how the draft works. It's not how the draft works. You go out there and you look at the teams that are the best in the league, and then look at their drafts. Not everybody works out. I don't care if it's first, second, third, fourth round. No, that doesn't matter. That does not matter. There are first round busts. There are second round busts. There are third round busts. We just cut Jalen Hurd, and I heard people saying, "Oh, he was on the team too long. He shouldn't have been here that long." It's not true. It's not true. You got a guy on the cheap, and he wasn't taking up a roster spot from anybody. He was on IR the entire time he was here, except this year. And even this year, he went to IR. So you can't sit here and say that the team misused him or anything like that. You don't just send him to the Wolves. An injury is an injury. That's one thing. But the physicality and the ability, it was there. So, no, the people are crazy. Because the players that you know aren't producing or doing anything right now doesn't mean that the drafts aren't successful. Doesn't mean that the drafts aren't working. Okay? You draft for the future. The veterans are for the current situation. The drafted players are here to replace guys. You can look at the draft and see what the plan was. Okay? We got K'Wan Williams. He's back. 1-year deal. Lenore is his replacement. We got Jaquiski Tart here. 1-year deal. Talanoa Hufanga is his replacement. You understand what I'm saying? We got Sean Coleman off and on IR. Supposed to be the swing tackle, right? Or Daniel Brunskill, who we had to move the guard. We should probably do something about that swing tackle position. What do? They go out there and get big boy. You guys have seen it. So don't act like what they're doing is weird or what they're doing is strange, right? It's not strange. You can see the plan if you take the emotions out of it and just look at what the 49ers are doing. Okay? Jalen Moore is a hell of a tackle already. He was the replacement for Sean Coleman. Okay? And the team, if they're being honest with you, they'll tell you straight up, they never meant for Brunskill to be a guard. He's just the best guard that's available. So what they do? You guessed it. They drafted a guard, Aaron Banks. They have to get these guys ready. All these guys aren't plug and play, come in day one and you can get out there. You guys got to have some patience. This team is playing long ball. This isn't a 1 year, put them in here and we're ready to run. I'm sorry, that's not how the NFL works. These guys coming out of college aren't usually NFL and pro ready. There's a reason they have rookie mini camps, training camps, and all that shit, preseason, all of that. We got to exercise a little bit of patience. I understand that the season is disappointing, and I'm not saying you guys aren't justified for feeling that way. I feel that way too. But we cannot sit here and keep killing everything because the team has a 3-5 record. Because if this team was 8-0, you guys wouldn't be complaining about shit. You cannot let the results change the way you feel about something. Well, that's not true. Let me rephrase that. You can't let the results change the logic behind certain decisions. That's what I want to say. You can't let the results alter the way you receive the information. All right? So that's what I have to say. Okay? Now, where do I want to start? We're 20 minutes in here. I was trying to look at the comments, but I can't always look at it. It's been 5 years. How long are we waiting for? It's been 5 years, bro. We had a quarterback for 2 of those years. One of those 2 years, we got to a Super Bowl. They just got their other quarterback. You got to be patient now. Give him 2 years. We'll be back in the Super Bowl. The last 2 quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan had to work with were Jimmy Garoppolo and Matt Ryan. Everybody else was a happenstance and because of the way the wind blew. The last 2 quarterbacks Kyle Shanahan had in their second year, both of them made the Super Bowl. Let's exercise a little patience because the next guy is Trey Lance. Let's see what he can do with it. Let's see what he can do with it. All right. Ladies love LL. Let's just see what happens. Okay. And guys, I'm not saying that everything is going to be all right. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you shouldn't be frustrated. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that we have to learn to compartmentalize our anger, our hate, and our vitriol. We have to direct it in the right places. Okay. That's what we have to do. We're sitting here saying this team is failing, this team is bad this year, this team is bad this year. We knew this team was going to be bad this year with Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners spent all offseason telling us that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't get it done. We're in on Matt Stafford. We're in on Joe Flacco. We're in on Sam Darnold. We're in on any quarterback that could throw a football in the NFL. They spent all offseason trying to tell us Jimmy wasn't the guy. And then we come on here and we act like, hey, why aren't we winning? They told you why we weren't going to win. It's why they traded up so much. It's why they did it. We got to compartmentalize what we're doing here, guys. But let me get back to the show. So listen, man. The team is working on different ways to fire up and motivate these guys. Okay, and when you go back to the last game that we won, it was Chicago. All the players, they talked about how John Lynch went down and gave this riveting speech. He fired up the troops, right? And it worked. According to what they said, it worked, right? I don't think that's why it worked, but we can come back to that later if we want. But it worked. So now what do we do? Well, I imagine that if it worked the first time, they had John Lynch go out there last week also. And then we get embarrassed at home. So now what do we do? Well, we try to find something else out. I don't know if they bring in celebrities to come in and fire them up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But then people were saying, oh, well, you know what they did? They put some pressure on John and Kyle. John York was out there. Dr. York was out at the team today. And people are saying, man, oh, man, that's it. Somebody's going to get fired. He's out there to put some pressure on them. Not so fast, guys. Not so fast. I'm going to let George Kittle explain why John York was out there today. George, tell us what happened.
Dr. York out there today as well.
Oh, yeah. He's been out there the last couple of days. It's awesome. Yeah. I like seeing Dr. York. Oh, he's a friendly smile under that mask. I can just tell he's I like people that just like being around football. It's just fun to see you guys out there. I know you guys are only there just because you work. You know, you have to report on stuff, but you know, he takes time out of his day to come see us.
You guys interpret that as a message that we better turn things around?
No, he's been there the last couple of weeks. He's been there pretty often actually this season. I mean, it was tough last year just with all the, I think with COVID regulations, a lot stricter and you know, less certainty, I guess, about, you know, how people were responding and the safety of players and coaches and just being in the building. So I think just with our protocols now, he's just around more, which is nice to see. I mean, like 2017, 18, 19, he was there all the time, almost every practice, it felt like. So it's nice to see him back out there again.
All right. He wasn't out there, guys, to light a fire under Kyle or John, to make anybody feel nervous or any extra pressure. According to Kittle, if you believe him, Dr. John York is out there all the time. He was out there all the time last year. The year before last and the year before that. But he couldn't do it because of COVID protocols. So, no, it's nothing. There's no story there. So that's not the way they're going to ignite this team this week. It's not the way they're going to motivate this team this week. And I said, oh, man, well, they got to figure something out. Because that means without them being motivated, we're going to lose. That's where my brain went. But then I started thinking about something else. There's these times where Kyle Shanahan does something, says something in a presser, and it gets my attention. Okay, that's what I'm going to focus on for the rest of this episode. So going into the week with Jimmy, it was a Halloween game, and I think I mentioned this on here. Maybe I mentioned it on Patreon. I don't know. I've been recording a lot of episodes, so I apologize if I cross them up a little bit. But Kyle Shanahan has this really negative energy. His shoulders, let me see if I can get my shoulders in the picture. His shoulders are a little lopsided. He's hunched over and leaning forward. You guys get kids Christmas gifts. There's Christmas gifts already here. Christmas gifts are in here. You know, his posture is really bad. Every time he's at the presser podium, his posture is really bad. Bad posture from Kyle means we lose the game. It's been consistent. It's been consistent for 3 seasons now. He's slouching. His shoulders aren't level. It's not good. I went and I watched his presser right before the Halloween game. Somebody asked him about his favorite candy. He stood up straight. He smiled. Shoulders were level, perfectly even, straight across. Showed some of those pearly whites. He's smiling, answering questions. We get the dub. We get the dub. Well, Kyle just spoke today, and this is what I got from Kyle. Okay, check this out here. This first one is going to be on Jimmy's play as of late. Jimmy's been playing pretty good these last 2 weeks, according to the person asking the question, according to Fantasy Football, according to PFF. Jimmy's been having the best 2 back-to-back weeks he's had in a long time. Let's hear what Kyle had to say about that.
When evaluating how Jimmy Garoppolo has played the last couple of weeks, he's thrown for over 300 yards in the games. Been pretty efficient. And at the same time, Trey has not played at all. Is there any correlation to that in terms of Jimmy feeling like he's in a groove? Is that something you take into account?
Not totally. I mean, I take into, when he's going to play in those packages and stuff like that, if that's what you mean. That's how I feel about it helping the offense at the time. Chicago game, I didn't really plan on doing much of that because he was just coming off an injury, and we had it in both, but didn't plan on doing unless needed. And going into the Arizona game, I thought we would do some, but the way the game went, we just never got into a rhythm offensively. You guys could see that. I didn't feel like the time to mix him in and change more stuff up.
So the question was basically, is Jimmy playing better because we're not seeing Lance? There's no threat of Lance coming in there. And Kyle basically said, no, that's not it. But what I wanted you guys to pay attention to was his demeanor, his posture, leaning forward on the podium, both hands, both palms on the podium, holding himself up. Okay? You don't get that good vibe from him. You don't get that good vibe from Kyle Shanahan there. You don't get that, what's your favorite Halloween candy? All right. There was no Swedish fish energy with this question and answer here. All right. And he comes back while he's talking about Trey Lance. Listen to this here. This is Kyle Shanahan. Again, I want you guys to pay attention to his posture, his demeanor. Okay.
Do you expect that Trey Lance will play more in the second half of the season?
It depends how our season goes. I think I've said the same answers with that since the beginning, so I don't know how many different ways I can say it.
What do you mean, though? Because you do have packages for him every game.
Yeah, and that's so does that read? So you guys know that answer, right? Right. Every time he's up, there'll be packages for him, and he'll always be an option to play.
But your answer was, we'll see how the season goes.
Because I thought his question was, is he ever going to become the guy? And that's how I have to see how the season goes. When he's ready, when our team's ready. Obviously, if there's nothing to play for and stuff, you make that decision with a lot of guys, trying to prepare guys for the next year and stuff like that.
There was a report, I think, last week that people inside the building had said Trey had regressed a little bit since the start of training camp. Is that true? He's gone up, he's gone down, just like every player in here. So when someone has a report that he had a really good first week of training camp, he did have a really good first week of training camp. He also had a good fourth week, a good third week. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but so there's probably some accuracy to that report, which I think would be accurate with every player on our team.
Guys, Kyle is tired of answering this question about when Trey Lance is going to play, whether or not he's going to play. He's not going to play until he's ready. He's not going to play until he's ready. He's tired of answering the damn question. He's literally saying, I don't know how many different ways I can answer the question. You say, what's 1 + 1? And I tell you it's 2. You say, what's 0.5 plus 1.5? I tell you it's 2. What's 1.3 plus 0.7? It's still 2. Guys, stop asking the question. When we get to 2, we'll be at 2. Right? That's what he's saying here. He's so tired of answering this question about when Trey Lance is going to play. When he's ready, he's going to play. They're like, oh, well, what about the packages? You guys said there were packages for him. He said that stuff because they are in there. There are packages for Trey Lance. That doesn't mean you see him every time. There's fake punts in the playbook too. I've never seen one for Kyle Shanahan since he's been here. But they're in the playbook. Okay? There's fake field goal plays. They work on that stuff, or a botched field goal, or a bad snap on a field goal. They work on those things. That doesn't mean you're going to see it every damn game. Stop asking me about this. Guys, look at his posture. I'm going to play that video again. I know it was a long one, but I want you guys to notice this. He's leaning forward. He's angry. He's tired of answering this shit. Stop asking me when this guy is going to play. He's going to play when I say he's going to play. He's going to play when I feel he's ready and the team is ready to support him as the quarterback, as the starter. It does not mean that he's bad. It means he's not ready. Kyle came out and said after that first Arizona game, he played well enough to win. It's not about can we win with him. We might be able to get some wins off, but he's not ready. It's not up to us, the faithfuls, the viewers, to decide when he's ready. It's up to them, Kyle and staff, to decide when he's ready. One more time, look at the demeanor.
Do you expect that Trey Lance will play more in the second half of the season?
Depends how our season goes. I think I've said the same answers with that since the beginning, so I don't know how many different ways I can say it.
What do you mean though? Because you do have packages for him every.
Yeah, and that's
so
does that read? So you guys know that answer, right?
Right.
Every time he's up, there'll be packages for him, and he'll always be an option to play.
But your answer was, we'll see how the season goes.
Because I thought his question was, is he ever going to become the guy? And that's how I have to see how the season goes. When he's ready, when our team's ready. Obviously, if there's nothing to play for and stuff, you make that decision with a lot of guys.
I can't watch it again. I'm tired of hearing the answer. I'm not going to watch that whole thing again. Just guys, when he's ready, he's going to be ready. Yes, we have some plays for him that add some diversity to our play calling. We have a quarterback that can do some things that the other guy can't do. So absolutely, I have some plays for him that he can execute right now. We're not just going to run him out there and do those 5 plays every time, every game. Get over it. Stop asking me, okay? Leaning forward, negative energy, weight of the world on his shoulders, right? But then there's a time where you can change Kyle's mood. There's a time where Kyle is happy when you ask a question that's just a little bit outside the box, a little bit different from the norm. You ask one of those questions and you get a different Kyle, okay? I'm going to play this next clip here, and all of a sudden, that same guy that was happy to talk about Swedish fish, he pops his head out. This is good Kyle. Check out good Kyle.
It does look a little more.
See how this question starts. Shoulders all crooked. Shoulders look like this. They forgot to drink their V8. Y'all remember the V8 commercials where people were walking sideways. I forgot to drink my V8, and they drink their V8. They're balanced. All right, never mind. Anyway, that really showed how old I am. I remember that commercial. You guys remember the V8 commercials? Y'all don't remember that shit. Y'all don't care. Y'all want to argue with each other in the chat. All right. Check this question out though, okay? Look at how his posture starts. Okay? Then when he realizes what's being asked, watch him change. Look at those shoulders. Remember I told you guys 2 palms on the table and crooked shoulders is one or the other? Watch this.
It does look a little more, I don't know what the right word is, streamlined than he did in the summer.
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Thanks.
He looks more what?
Streamlined, like he's looking great.
Oh, leaner?
Is that right?
Sexier?
Is he lighter than he was?
Yeah, he is. And he's a big guy, so it's not as much about, I want him to be big. I want him to be one of our heavier guys, but it's about being his right weight. And that usually comes with eating right, getting out to practice, doing it, 4 days a week. And then it usually happens naturally if he's disciplined away from our building. And I think it was harder in camp because he couldn't get out there. But now doing about a month of it, practicing, eating right and stuff, I think he's doing a lot better.
Guys, see the demeanor change? Stood up a little bit there, right? Called Aaron Banks sexy. Huh? Now, guys, this is not the most flattering angle of myself. I apologize. You guys don't normally get this view of me. I'm looking at it now on the screen as opposed to looking into the camera or, my thinking faces and things like that. But you guys got to remember, it's Friday night here. My kids are taking over where I normally record. So it's there. It is what it is. But you saw his demeanor change, right? He laughed, he giggled, he stood up straight, straightened those shoulders up. Both palms weren't on the podium anymore. Kyle felt a little bit better. It eased. The tension left the room for a little bit. And his demeanor was like that for the remainder of that presser. It went on for another 7 or 8 minutes, and his demeanor never went back to crooked shoulders, never went back to 2 palms on the table. He didn't need the podium to hold him up. He was standing on his own. He was standing on his own. It was a good thing to see. Matt Flores, thanks for the contribution to the show, man. This is the first one. It says, is Kyle the mentor for Trey? Is he even a head coach? Well, the last question is yes, he's a head coach. Absolutely. I don't get that question. Now, if you want to argue if he's a good head coach or not, that's something different. But is he a head coach? He absolutely is. It's in his title. It's literally what he is. Is he a mentor for Trey? I don't think he's a mentor for Trey. I think he's a head coach for Trey. There's a quarterback's coach for Trey. There's trainers for Trey. There's people to get him ready. He writes up the plays, and it's Trey's responsibility to learn those plays. I don't think he's there to mentor him. He should be someone that Trey can ask questions of. I don't know if you consider that a mentor. A mentor seems a little bit more personable. If I have a mentor, that's a personal relationship that I have with said person, right? I have a manager at work. He's not my mentor. You know what I'm saying? We have supervisors at work. That doesn't make them our mentor. A mentor is a little bit more one-on-one, a little bit more intimate, I think is the word I want to use. So I'm not going to say that he's a mentor for Trey. And I'm assuming that you're talking about Lance and not Sermon. But either way, I don't think he's a mentor for either one. And he is definitely a head coach. Mulberry Group says, I thought you were at least 37. Well, you are spot on. I am 37 for the next couple of days. I got a birthday coming up soon, but yeah, I'm 37 as of right now. Yes, I am. But yeah, so Kyle's demeanor changed for the rest of the game. I mean, for the rest of the presser. And the last time his demeanor changed for that long, the Niners won the game. Now, I'm not telling you guys to pick up and go out there and bet the house on the 49ers to win this game, because I'm still not picking the Niners to win. They signed OBJ, and they lost a point as far as being favorites to win the game. When I saw the week start, they were 4-point favorites. I heard some people say it was up to 5. Heard some people say it was up to 5. All right, now we're the home team. We get 3 points in Vegas, 3.5 points in Vegas. And they were 4-point favorites to win the game when I saw at the start of the week. They signed Odell Beckham Jr., and they were 3.5-point favorites. I don't understand how you lose a half a point because you sign a player that's supposed to bolster your roster to make you guys stronger. All right? But for whatever reason, that's what happened. I don't know if Vegas heard something, they know something, but the last time Kyle smiled at a presser before the game, the last time Kyle stood up straight and was lighthearted and jolly, we won. The team played really, really well, and the guys came out motivated. Okay? Kyle kept us up with him the rest of that presser. You guys should go back and watch it. And then they even asked Kyle some other questions that were meant to be negative, like all the stuff that's going on 49ers Twitter. Your draft picks aren't well. They ask him about stuff like that. They're not performing. They ask him about stuff like that. Trey Lance isn't getting in. They asked him questions about that. Why aren't you using Trey Sermon? All this stuff was asked. You don't have any leaders in the locker room. They said this to him. They said it to George Kittle. They've said it to John Lynch. I mean, they're asking these questions because that's what you guys are talking about on Twitter. And what did Kyle have to say when asked about the leadership in the locker room? He was like, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what's happening. There's some leaders here, but they might not lead the way you guys want them to lead. But watch his posture. I want you guys to take note of his posture. See if he's leaning on this podium. See if his shoulders are crooked. Check out Kyle here when talking about whether or not there's leaders on his team.
Everything comes into question. So there's been some talk about leadership. And I think you guys have a lot of established guys who are kind of more quiet lead by example types. And so conversation as well, you need someone to rattle some cages. Do you think you have enough guys or a guy who has the stature and personality to maybe say this what's happening here it can't be tolerated anymore?
Yeah, I believe so. But I think all those guys got to play better too. It's not just we don't have the right guy yelling at guys and saying this can't be tolerated. I mean, that sounds good and all for everyone, but those are just words. It's got to be with actions and not just wanting to do it, but performing at a high level. So when you have those guys that can hold people accountable, they also better be doing their job at a high level too. And I look less about who's going to get all these guys going to play their best. That's our job as coaches, as players, to try their best, to work their hardest, to get as healthy as they can for practice all the way up to Sunday and perform as good as you possibly can. And that's what you got to do as individuals, and you push everyone as a team. Your team pushes each other, and then your whole team rises together. I think it's very rare that you have one guy in that way. I get what you're saying, but that's usually not what answers it. Just a guy, it's a guy playing the right way, leading by example, doing it the right way, performing, and then we can all hold accountability and trying to get a certain standard for every single player.
Interesting stuff there from head coach Kyle. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't beat around the bush, man. He tries to keep it as real as possible. People often misconstrue it. You got to lead by example, right? That's how some guys lead. There's some silent killers in this 49ers locker room. Eric Armstead, right? Trent Williams. I'm going to go out here and beat the shit out of every defensive lineman and linebacker and corner that they send my way. I'm not going to get in nobody's face and yell at them. I'm not grabbing nobody by the collar to yell at them. You look at Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead was mic'd up, and I heard him say a grand total of 12 words that whole mic'd up segment. It was a 6-minute segment of him being mic'd up, and I heard him say 12 words. You understand what I'm saying? 12 words. He's a leader, but he ain't out here to talk and rah, rah, rah and grab nobody by the collar and get them to understand and play better. No, do as I do. Watch me. Let's roll. Let's go into battle. George Kittle's the guy. George Kittle will talk. But George Kittle can't talk because George Kittle ain't been out there his damn self. George Kittle, when he is out there, he's fumbling the ball. He can't talk. And go listen to George Kittle's presser. He'll tell you the same thing I'm saying. This is not me taking shots at George Kittle. This is me reiterating what George Kittle said about himself. Who am I to talk? I'm fumbling the ball, so now I'm walking around all week long with a football in my hands, so I get used to the feeling of holding it in there. Guys trying to knock it out every time they pass me in the halls. It's my job to hold on to that rock. And that's what I'm doing. I'm holding on to it all week long. How can I be a leader? How can I go and tell somebody we got to play harder when I'm the one out there giving the opponent the ball? That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, man. And so let's fast forward, guys. Kyle Shanahan's posture says, we're going to win this game. That's what his posture says. How confident are you guys? How do you guys feel about the 49ers winning this game? Niners Dodger says there's no leadership, no fire, no passion. I have a feeling we're going to trade Debo for a first-round pick. Don't sound to me like Niner Dodgers thinks the 49ers are going to win this game. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. Niners Dodger, I'm with you, bro. Not sure we're going to win this game. No leadership. There's leadership, but not the way that we want it to be. No fire, no passion. I disagree on those fronts also. These guys have fire. These guys have passion. These guys are paid professionals also. We go to work, we have a bad day. We're supposed to do a couple of things after that, right? I don't know what line of work you guys are in, but if you have a job, let's say you have a job and you have kids, and give you guys a peek behind the curtain here at Mike's house. Here's what I do. I work with people. I work for a hospice company. You guys know what hospice is. It's our jobs to make your family members as comfortable as possible as they transition. I deal with family members all day who are preparing to bury their loved ones, right? Not a lot of smiles in my line of work. Not a lot of compliments in my line of work. A lot of sad people, a lot of angry people. Some of our patients who are on hospice are very coherent and are well aware that they're on their way out. And I've lived too long to bite my tongue. If I don't like black people, I don't want you in my house. I'm going to accept the equipment because I need it. I'm going to accept the medication because I need it. But I don't like you guys. It's cool. It's cool. We hear it, we see it, we get it. We got to deal with it, right? What I'm saying is I have bad days at work. When I come home, once I punch out, when I walk through my threshold, I leave work at work. You got to separate it. You can't tell me there's no fire, there's no passion. Because what? We don't see these guys crying. We don't see them moping. We don't see them upset. The only time you're going to get that version of those guys is in the post-game pressers. And I see that from every single one of them. Every single one of them. I don't care how good of a game you have as an individual. George Kittle said something last year at the podium that stuck with me for a long time. George Kittle had a game, and it was a really, really good game. It was a record-setting. No, it was 2 years ago. I believe we were playing the Broncos, and George Kittle was like 8 yards away from setting a record for tight ends, or one reception away from setting a record for tight ends, right? And he says, I don't care. I'd rather win. I'd rather win the game and have no catches than have 11 catches and us lose. That meant something. Don't tell me there's no passion. These guys don't want to lose these games. Don't tell me there's no fire. They're pissed off when they lose. Look at their demeanors when they go to the podium immediately following the game. But there's a switch. You got to be able to flick that switch. When I go to work and I get yelled at by these patients and their family members because they're dealing with someone dying, they have to plan funerals, and time is of the essence. Literally every second means something to these people. So if you're in their house longer than they want you to be, they don't like it. When you're at the hospital and you're helping these people with their equipment that they need and these breathing apparatuses, they don't care about what you have to say. Get in here, make this as easy as possible for me and my family, and get out. That's their mindset. When I come home, I get out my car, I lock the doors, and I grab my house key. And as soon as that key goes into the door, work doesn't exist anymore. I'm over it. I walk in the door every day with a smile on my face, and I greet all 4 of my kids. And after I greet all 4 of my kids, my wife is standing there. And I walk up to her and I give her a kiss, and then I kiss her on the forehead. I ask her how her day was. And after that, my dog is standing there. And he can't wait for me to give him some affection too. All the shit from the day that I had at work stays at work. And if you were to see me do this, you would have no idea if I had a good day at work or a bad day at work, because you have to leave it where it is. You have to compartmentalize what's going on in your life. And these guys do that. So I don't agree with no fire, no passion, because the fire and the passion is all on display immediately following the game. It's there. It's all out there for you guys to see. But we got to get on to the next game. And they say the same thing when they win. They have a phenomenal win. How does it feel? Da-da-da-da. It's cool. It's great. But we got 24 hours to enjoy this. And then it's back to work. We got somebody else coming in here. They say the same shit when they win. It's not supposed to be different because we lost. It's not going to be different because we're 3-5. We're mad right now, but we got to get back to work. We got another team we got to play. That's how it works. And the last part of Niner Dodgers comment here. I have a feeling we're going to trade Debo for a first-round pick. I don't know. I don't feel that, but you could be right. It's possible. He's got some trade value, right? He's got some trade value. He's the best, most consistent guy on the team, above George Kittle, above the guy that they call an offensive weapon in Kyle Juszczyk. Debo is the best guy we got on the offense. I hope we don't trade him. I hope we find a way to bring him back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I hope. I hope you're wrong there. Okay? Hope you're wrong. Let me see here, man. Ben Lee, thanks for the contribution, bro. He said, needed this pep talk. I'm not really trying to give a pep talk, but I appreciate you thinking it's that. We just have to be real with what we see. We can't expect everybody to walk around angry because we're angry. These players are real people. We're watching a game. They're working. This is their jobs. It's their job to perform. You think they're happy when they lose? They're not happy. They're not happy, man. They're not. Ben, I don't know if you've been here a long time, but go back and watch the last couple of episodes, man. Check us out on Patreon. I'm telling people that it's our fault that we're this upset. I'm telling you guys that it's because of what we expected, us ignoring all the obvious signs that we feel the way that we feel. I'm not saying that you guys should not be upset at the record. But I'm saying that we probably kind of should have maybe have expected this record. Another conversation for another time. So here's what I want to ask you guys, man. Here's what I want to ask you guys. I don't think we're going to have a winning season. Let's be clear here. I think we'll be lucky to get. You got 3 wins right now. I think we'll be lucky to get 5 or 6 wins. 6 wins tops. That's what I see right now. And I don't care if we put in Trey Lance or not. That's what I see. I'll be happy to be wrong. Okay? And this is not me conceding. It's not me waving the white flag. It's what I see. I look at that schedule. I see the Falcons. I don't know if this team right now, the way they've been playing, can beat the Falcons. I see the Jaguars. Well, the last 2 weeks, Jaguars looking like they come into play. They don't care what team they're going against. The Niners don't seem to have that. Not right now. If the Texans, all right, we might be able to sneak that one out. I think the Texans might be the worst team in the NFL right now. Where are the other wins coming from, guys? The Rams? We got the Rams on Monday Night Football in our house. If we were on the road, I'd feel more confident. But we're not. We're at home. We're at home. And they're coming off a loss. You know how a good team is identified as a good team? By never losing 2 in a row. You guys think the Rams are about to lose 2 in a row? They just fell. They just fell to the Titans. I don't think it's happening twice, guys. I don't. I think we had a better shot at beating the Rams had they come in here with a win. But we're at home, and the Niners haven't won a game at home in over 12 months. I know we swept the Rams, but one of those 2 things is going to hold true. One of those 2 things is going to hold true. Kyle Shanahan has Sean McVay's number. He swept him last year. Okay, that's one. Or the Niners can't win at home. That's one also. Which one are you willing to bet on? I'm willing to bet on the Niners not winning the game at home. But what I'm hoping is that we win this game, that we still got McVay's number. But we've never played McVay with Stafford. We've never played that guy. We've never played this combination here. All right? So I just want you guys to understand what I'm saying here. Okay? I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. Guys, there's a plan in place. The 49ers have a plan in place. Okay? Jed York is on board with the plan. I can't sit here and pretend like I got all the details of this plan. I don't. I can tell you guys what I've seen. I saw a team give up 2 first-round picks and trade and acquire this guy with a 3rd overall pick. We're going to see him with this coach, with this regime. They bought themselves some time. And just in case you didn't think they did, this comment right here. Kyle's not going anywhere anytime soon. 6-year extension. Lynch got a 5-year extension. These guys aren't going anywhere. These extensions were built to coincide with the quarterback, Trey Lance. That's the plan, guys. The plan is to unveil Trey Lance. That's the plan. Develop and unleash. That's what I should have called this episode. Develop and unleash. I'm going to save that for another day. That's the plan, guys. Trey Lance was not brought in here to be a day 1 starter. Kyle told y'all didn't want to listen to him. Y'all didn't want to hear him when he said it. Y'all didn't want to believe him when he said it. He said, we drafted this guy for the future, not for today. He's not meant to be a day 1 starter. He's not ready. It won't start until he's ready. They told y'all everything you wanted to hear, everything you needed to know. And you guys, myself included, my dumb ass ignored them. Nah, bro, Trey Lance going to play week 12. That's what I said. I said between week 12 and week 14, Trey Lance is going to play. Now, I don't know if we're going to see Trey Lance all year. The way Kyle talking, Lance won't play until we eliminate from the postseason. And that's cool. It's possible. It's possible. At this rate, we got 4 more weeks before we completely eliminate it. But we got to have the Vikings winning out. Vikings ain't going to win. They're not good enough. All right? But SF Dre, I agree with you, man. Kyle's not going anywhere. So for all the people who are angry, typing in caps and putting all the exclamation points, get rid of Kyle. Anything you say is stupid if you support Kyle. You're going to be stuck supporting Kyle for the next 2 or 3 years, at least. At least. I promise you, Jed York is not letting go of Kyle until he sees at least 2 years with Trey Lance. This year don't count. It's just the way it is, bro. Thanks for the contribution, Trey. Sean, my guy, my dog. Hope Kane is doing well. Happy birthday to you know what it is. You know what it is, Sean. This is my guy right here. He says, I get it. I get it. At the same time, I'm starting to think that Kyle is the leader of the short bus all-stars. I don't believe he can recover. Sean, there's a lot of people right there with you, man. There's a lot of people right there with you. But again, this all comes back to the expectations that you set at the beginning of the season. And they're all expectations that you should have never set. Myself included. I was one of those guys. I said that I can't find 4 losses on that schedule. I was stupid. I was dumb. I should have never said that. Should have never said that, man. They spent the last 2 seasons telling us Jimmy wasn't the guy. Right after the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's available? What? Oh, he might be cool. Matt Stafford's available? Oh, yo. Psst. What y'all want for him? Oh, Joe Flacco. Joe, you free? No, yeah, no? Okay. Okay, Sam Darnold. Y'all gonna trade it? Sam, we can get Sam? Yo, come. Okay. Oh, the Panthers really want him. Okay. Cool. Why would we think that a team willing to acquire Sam Darnold for the right price is ready to make a postseason push? Come on, Sean. We're better than that. We're smarter than this. All of us are smarter than this. You guys watch 49ers football because of the passion, because of the colors. I get it. But if you're watching this show, it's more than that for you. You guys that are watching this show, there's 184 people in this room right now. You guys aren't casual fans. You love this team. You guys bleed this team. If you're on the East Coast, it's tomorrow. You started watching yesterday. It's tomorrow. You guys have a passion that runs deep. This is a lifestyle for you guys. And we got blinded by our personal wishes. We got blinded by our personal goals for this team, and we ignored all the signs. The sign said, Kyle said, Lynch said, we can't win with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know we just came off a Super Bowl season, and I still need to trade for another quarterback. I know we just won 13 regular season games. I still need to acquire another quarterback. People said the roster was good enough to win. Forget Jimmy. This is what they told me. Forget Jimmy for a second. The roster is good enough to win. The roster is good enough to get to the postseason. Combine that with our schedule. Guys, they knew our schedule before we did. You can Google right now the 49ers 2023 schedule. There's only 4 games that have not been determined. And those 4 games aren't going to be determined until where we place at the end of the year. If we're 4th in the division, we're going to have the 4th place schedule. It's only 4 games. But the other 13 games, they're already there. You can go Google that right now. They knew the strength of schedule. They knew we had a weak-ass schedule this year. They knew we had a weak schedule. and they still said they need a new quarterback. Why? So for the people that say, well, between the schedule and the surrounding cast, we're a playoff team. No, we're not. Because if we were, they wouldn't have traded up. They might have drafted a quarterback at 12. They stayed put, right? You can get a quarterback at 12. You look at the quarterbacks that went ahead of us. Look at the quarterbacks that went after us. We probably would have still landed Lance or McCorkle Jones or Justin Fields. If we had stayed put at 12, you could have got one of those guys. Absolutely. You could have got one of those guys. But they felt the need to trade up, knowing our schedule. They felt the need to trade up, knowing the surrounding cast of any quarterback who's here. Didn't matter which quarterback it was. Jimmy, cool. Hey, cool, Jimmy, good job. You won 13 games. You got a Super Bowl appearance. Cool. We still need to do something else. If the team was willing to and did trade up for another quarterback following a Super Bowl appearance, why on earth should we as fans have expected them to do more than what they're doing right now? Because if they thought that they were capable of doing more than what they're doing right now, they would have never traded up. They would have stayed where they were and got who they got. They would have taken who fell to them. They needed to trade up because they didn't believe in what was here already. It's a harsh truth. It's a harsh reality. We got to accept it, guys. And Sean, I know you're saying you don't believe he can recover. I still believe. I still believe, man. The only reason I believe is because they've been telling us the truth all along. We've just been ignoring it, man. We have been ignoring it. It's us choosing to turn a blind eye, a deaf ear, a numb touch. That's us. We've been the ones ignoring it all. We got to hold ourselves accountable, guys. This is why I don't speak a lot, because people don't want to hear the truth. They just want to see, oh, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. We're not right. All the fans were wrong. All of us who thought this could be a postseason team, we were wrong. They told us that. All their actions said, hey, this ain't it. Have you guys ever seen a team go to the Super Bowl and start looking for a quarterback immediately? I've seen one team do it. It was the Ravens with Trent Dilfer. I've only seen one team do it. And here's the difference. Trent Dilfer wasn't the quarterback that entire season. He was only the quarterback for that postseason. That's it. We went 13 wins with Jimmy Garoppolo. Got 2 more in the postseason and said we need to move on. Dan Serrano, he says, sit back and enjoy the process. Stop tripping. I agree with the stop tripping part. I agree with the sit back part, but enjoy the process. Oh, the process is long. Process is hard and it's ugly. We got to be resilient. We got to buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. When I sign off of shows, I tell you guys to anticipate pain. This is it right here. This is the pain part. That's what we're experiencing right now. You understand what I'm saying? We here. This is it. This is the pain part. But sometimes you got to endure the pain to get to the better side. They tell you that after every storm, the sun shines. After every rainy night, there's a sunny day. That's what they say. It's not necessarily true. I've seen some rainy nights turn into cloudy days, but the rain stops eventually. We got to weather the storm, guys. We have to weather the storm. It might rain for 40 days and 40 nights, but at some point, it's going to stop raining. We got to be patient. We got to sit back. We got to stop tripping. Be angry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to not like the product you're seeing on the field. We'll never tell you guys to just be happy about everything. That's stupid. That's foolish. We deserve more than what we're seeing. And I agree with all that. I really do. But we got to stop tripping. We got to stop overreacting. Stop over processing everything. We have to. We're doing it to ourselves. We're driving ourselves crazy. That's the truth. Okay? So, Dan, thanks for that contribution, bro. This is where we are, man. This is where we are. We did it to ourselves. Guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to get up out of here. I love you guys. Thank you all for rocking with me, man. You guys have been great. When it comes to this Rams team, man, like I said, I really, really thought that we had a better shot if the Rams had won last week. They didn't. They lost. I think they're going to turn it up a notch. I think they're going to kick it into another gear. I think this is a personal game between Kyle and between Sean McVay. And my money's on Kyle. My money's on Kyle if I had to put it between just those two. But Kyle don't have his guy. McVay traded and got his guy under center. He went out there and he got Matt Stafford. He went out there and he got Odell Beckham Jr. He went out there and he got Von Miller. McVay's loading the clip, bro. He's got that revolver. He knows it's a six-shooter, and he's popping in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got them all in there. He's slapping it closed. He's spinning the chamber, and he's ready to bust. That's Sean McVay right now. He said, Kyle, you got me last year, bro. You got me twice. But this year, I'm going to see you, and I'm going to take it from you. And I think toe-to-toe, if the rosters were the same, I'm taking Kyle 10 out of 10 times if the rosters were the same. But they're not the same. And I don't think this roster is built to come in here and take from Sean McVay what we got to take. I think we're going to lose this one, guys. And I hope I'm wrong. I will celebrate with you guys as I'm wrong. And that's okay. It's okay to be wrong, faithful. Don't let people make you feel bad because, oh, you said this was going to happen and it didn't happen. So what? So what? I told you what I thought, told you what I felt. And if that's not what happens, that's not what happens. Don't let them make you feel bad because what you said didn't come true to the letter of the T. Nah, man. We're not having that. We're not having that. All right? We're going to be ready. There's another contribution here somewhere. Saw it pop up. Here we go. My man, Dan's right back in here. Enjoy the process. We'll be back again. You're absolutely right. You freaking right. We'll be back again. All right? And this season's not over. We could end up 9-8. I don't know. I'm saying I don't see it right now with the way things are going. I don't see it. But who knows? We could be back. We could be back. You know what I'm saying? Sammy S says, no, Mike, you were wrong. Can't be wrong about my opinion. I haven't told y'all nothing that I said was fact. I'm telling y'all how I feel. I can't be wrong about my opinion. It's my opinion. Now, here's what I am right about that you might not like. You guys had too high of expectations for this team. I'm right about that. You might not like it. You might not want to admit it, but I'm right. I'm right. You've never seen a team say we need more help at the quarterback position and still have postseason aspirations. That don't exist. Football's been around too long for that. There's a reason they call the quarterback position the most important position on the field. You can have all other 21 starters right. And if that one ain't right, it don't matter. It does not matter. So, no, I don't want to hear it. All right? That's it, guys. I appreciate you all. Go Niners. Mike is not drunk. I promise you. Mike is not drunk. I wish I was. But, yo, we'll be back, guys. Make sure you guys tune in. Go over to Patreon. Patreon.com/NB9ERS Delta. What's going on? I'll see you in here at the end of the show. Love you guys, man. Y'all take it easy out there. Stop hating on each other. Show some love. Spread love and not war. Okay, guys? We're going to get up out of here. I want to thank y'all for checking me out. Y'all have been the best. I love and appreciate every one of y'all. All right? Prepare for glory. Anticipate pain. But always remain faithful. We out of here, y'all. Peace.
This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but. We them nothing but Niners.